Okay, we are here Sunday morning uh, for day 5 of Take 10. And I am aware that it is Father's Day. I don't really celebrate that one because reasons that we won't get into on here, but it strikes me that a lot of people are doing those kinds of things, and great. So if you're time traveling to do this one with us sometime later today or tomorrow, um, we love that. Um, we're gonna play sort of two different games today, some slightly contrasting musical experiences, if you will. And both of these, we're going to work a little more with the extremities. So in the first one, we're going to really work with our hands. And the second one, we're going to work with our feet. And when we kind of let a particular extremity or part of the body be the center of the expression of the game, the rest of the body is there to support, right? If I move my hand, the rest of my structure is affected. I'm not trying to like isolate movement of my hands. You could if you want to, but that's not required by the game. It's more, can I let my hands be the leader and my body be the follower? Or sometimes I'll say, your hands are Beyonce and your body is the backup dancers. That being said, honor your energy levels today. If you're feeling super low energy, you could do both of these lying down, just like lying on a bed, lying on your couch, lying on the floor. You could support the structure of your body a lot and just allow your hands to play and then later your feet to play, right? We can put our feet up in the air when we're laying down. You can even put your legs up a wall if you'd like. So that's sort of like the more need for rest and support end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, you could explore more energetically expensive positions. So you could stand and move your hands and let them pull you so that you travel through your space. You're not just staying on one spot. More extreme, right? You could get into like a quadruped or kind of plank position and be kind of playing with your hands along the floor, right? So there's this whole range of more support versus less support and therefore more energy expenditure and everything in between. You can mix and match. The other thing you can always play with is tempo. I am choosing the music, which often feels like it dictates the tempo, but it doesn't have to. So, like the first song is very kind of like slow and languid, but you could play with breaking that and moving kind of fast and frenetically, remembering that kind of fire quality that we worked with yesterday. Or you could really go with it and like let it inform your movement. These are just choices and options. The whole point is to find something that delights you. So, like, do you feel delighted by being a little rebellious? Do you feel delighted by like having more cohesion? Both are super valid. Anything else I want to say about that? I don't think so. So, we're going to do hands first. We're going to do a little primer for our hands. So, um, wherever you are, just start like squishing your one hand with another. Think like hand massage, but you don't have to be trained masseuse or skillful. Just like squish and rub and maybe like, I love the like finger pull. Oh, give yourself a bit of hand-to-hand action, if you will, that you enjoy. There's a 12-year-old boy who lives in my brain. It's fine. And if you haven't yet, switch who's giving and who's receiving. And we have this unique opportunity when we kind of like massage or give care to ourselves, in which we are both the receiver and the giver simultaneously, which, like, theoretically, amazing, right? You can really hear right away because you are the receiver what the receiver likes, doesn't like, or wants to have happen slightly differently. And because you are also the giver, you could theoretically adjust. Now, most people I know, communication betwixt them and themselves, not working that lightning speed, but this is an opportunity to calibrate that. So now, especially if it's chilly where you are, rub your hands together, generate some heat. Nice fast rub, get some warmth going. And then when you feel like you have a good amount of warmth, you're going to place your hands somewhere on your body that would like to receive some care. And tune in to the receiver, the you that is the receiver. See if you can send most of your awareness to that place. What does it feel like to receive this caring touch? Are there any changes? Would you like it to be more firm or more narrow? Maybe in a slightly different spot. Maybe you didn't nail it on the first go. And then make those adjustments, right? Permission to be fussy. And then if you can, just notice how receiving that care in that particular spot where your hands are has a ripple effect to the rest of your structure, to the rest of your body. It's all connected. So if we give a little bit somewhere, there's a nourishment that travels throughout. And then when you're ready, you can let that go. So we're going to take this idea of like one hand caring for and leading the other. This is kind of like that theater game, right? Usually do it with another person, and one person is leading and the other person is mirroring. And so it looks like you're just moving images in a mirror. It's kind of like that, but you don't have to pretend there's a piece of glass in between you. So, like, if my right hand is caring for and leading my left hand, I can contact that hand anywhere I'd like. And I can keep this, like I said, pretty local. Or I could like get up and have that move me through space and kind of let my body follow what my hands are doing. Do endeavor to be clear about who is leading who, right? If the right is leading the left and caring for the left, it's a benevolent leader. It's trying to not fake out the other one, right? It's trying to be caring and kind of guide it through. And then at some point, switch. Yeah. Try to be as specific as you can about who's the leader and who's the follower, and just notice if it gets squiffy. Probably will at some point. All right, so our song for this little game is just under 3 minutes, 2:43. And I believe I have shared my sound, but let me know if you don't hear it. Here we go.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the time. When I grew up, I called him mine. He would always laugh and say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang, I shot you down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I used to shoot you down. Music played and people sang. Just for me, the church bells rang. Now he's gone, I don't know why. till this day sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye, he didn't take the time to lie. Bang, bang, he shot me down, bang, bang, I hit the ground, bang, bang, that awful sound, bang, bang, my baby shot me
Okay. Letting that go. Taking a moment to celebrate, shake it off, just generally kind of be like, well, that happened. Okay. If anything particularly useful emerged in your awareness as you were doing that, you might try to like catch that, tuck it in your pocket. The folks who are on Zoom will have a little community connection time once we turn off the recording and the IG Live. And you're welcome to share those insights as a way to really like claim them out loud for yourself. We'll also do a little like ask me anything if you have questions about this stuff. So next, we're gonna play now with our feet a little bit. Um, Feet, turns out, uh, should be more similar to the dexterousness of hands. They have very similar construction on the inside, lots of individual bones and joints that theoretically move independently. But the modern trend of cramming our toes together into a cute pointed shoe and wearing a little bit of a raised heel has really rendered our feet less articulate than they are capable of being. So we're gonna play with a little like foot articulation challenge. Um, and then we will do a very short 1 minute, 41 seconds song to kind of just like set that loose and play. So let me adjust my camera angles here. So you can do this standing or seated, but you're going to want your feet to be flat on a surface. If you can be barefoot, that is the best. In fact, yeah, I'd really recommend that. Um, so one, we're just gonna play with being able to shift where we're putting our weight in our feet, which might feel like a thing you don't think about and might be illuminatory. So like shifting your weight forward so it's more in the toes, your heels are light, but they're not coming off the ground. And then shifting your weight back so your weight is in your heels and the toes are light, but they're not coming all the way off. If you're in your chair, you're gonna kind of really lean forward and really lean back. And it won't be quite as dramatic as standing, and that's okay. If you're standing, keep your knees soft. And if balance is really a fun puzzle for you, you might want to be near something you can put a hand on, like a sturdy chair or a wall. Just play with those options, all the way into the toes, all the way into the heels. Oh, who knew? Okay, and then the other option we have is like we can really roll our weight in towards like the inside of the foot, the arches, the big toe side, or we can roll our weight out into the outsides, the pinky toe side. So play with a little bit of that. If you're standing and sitting, when you roll in, probably it'll feel like your knees come towards each other, a little more weight sinking into that side. And then as you come out, your knees might move apart from each other. And then just like play a little bit. What if I go on a diagonal? Just playing with like a weight shift in your feet, kind of letting that impact the rest of your structure. Feeling that you can really like push off from those weighted parts. If I'm in my heel, I can push my heel down and it'll send me further away. And then the other thing we want to play with is that toe dexterity. So now, trying to find that weight shift pretty evenly spread throughout your feet. So you're not rolled in or out, you're not forward or back, you're pretty even. See if you can press all of your toes down, like you're trying to print them into the sand, and then lift all of your toes off. but without losing your big toe. Uh-oh. We lost the Instagram live, I think, or it might be frozen. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. So toes pressing down into the floor and then toes lifting off. You can look down at your toes, sometimes that's helpful. And then keep your toes up the next time you lift them. See if you can tap just your big toes down, keeping your little toes off, and then bring them back up. You can try that a few times. Your little toes are probably going to move some amount. They're not going to hold stock still, but maybe they can move independently. So these are some ingredients that I invite you to play with. Again, if you're wanting more support, you could lay down. I'm not going to lay all the way down and have your legs in the air and be moving your feet around free form in that way. Technology. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's annoying. Um, well, guess it just ended. Mm, mm, okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. All right. Apparently, feet needed their own live. Okay, so we've got weight shift, forward, back. We've got weight shift in, out. We've got lifting the toes all together or trying to see if you can lift big toes versus small toes. Um, you can do all that from standing or seated. If you're wanting more support, you can lay down, put your legs in the air, and wave your tootsies around. But we're just gonna play with like letting the feet sort of be the leader and explore what's possible. Like imagine if your feet were as articulate as your hands and they were doing their own version of ASL. Like that's the Broadway version. It could be chiller than that, but see how you go. All right. This is a shorty and a cutie. 1 minute and 41 seconds. Ready, go. All right. Ah, such a jaunty little tune. All right. Finding your way to stillness. Whew. Take a moment to notice your feet. What are the sensations present in your feet and ankles? perhaps unique to how you normally feel in that region, or the amount of sensory input that you normally receive from that region. And also maybe noticing your hands. Are they still with you? Do they still feel lit up? And again, if you had any kind of like aha moments from either of these practices or from this experience in general, I encourage you to like tuck those in somewhere. Maybe write them in a journal, or I always like to create a little, like if it's like a big insight, I like to create a visual representation in my space. Sometimes that's just a post-it note with like a couple words on it. Sometimes I'll make like a little, I don't know, I'll put like a rock or a pine cone or something that like reminds me of that thing so that you can just like be with it as you're moving through your everyday life. All right. So we're gonna turn off the Instagrams. Bye. Sorry it's in two parts today. And we'll turn off the recording. Thanks for coming, time travelers.